Okay, Dan here. I have to give the video a little bit of time before I start talking because I have a low budget microphone built into my laptop. Okay, uh, I did an unboxing of a new bright vehicle a few days ago, but I just got my channel up and running, and the video turned out to be too long uh, to upload. So I guess the YouTube rules are the way that they used to be years ago, where you have to gradually upload more and more content before you are allowed to have longer lengths of time for your videos. So here is what I have bought. And here's a close up. And this is the heavy metal stamped steel body 1/18th scale Jeep Gladiator. And it's 4-wheel drive. Um, I've driven it around a little bit. When I bought it for the scale of the chassis and the wheels and tires. Um, the body that was on it was more like 1/24th scale, uh, somewhere around there. So I took that off, which I had planned to do from the start. And the uh, the suspension, it has decent suspension and stuff. Springs are a little bit on the stiff side. It has front and rear suspension, as well as shocks and everything. Um, the With the Jeep body on it, you're not going to have much movement in the front suspension because the steering box is the large steering box that they use on the larger vehicles, and the bumper of the Jeep is going to come down and be touching it, so you're not going to get much absorption from your shocks uh, while driving it. So that was another thing I didn't like. Also, that whole piece, if you take the body off, it'll shift forward because there's nothing to keep it level, nothing to keep it straight. So I sat down and thought about what I could do about that, and I found a way to anchor it. I took a long bread tie or electronics tie and ran it underneath the little piece for the trim, for the steering trim, and anchored it to a place on the chassis to hold that part level and straight. Because if it's not level and straight, then your steering is going to be worse. Instead of your wheels actually steering, they're going to lean into the turns. So that was something I had to repair. Um, and I just got through running it again. I've been running it here and there. I can't run it outside right now because of the weather. Um, but it does have a lot of torque for what it is. It has decent speed. It has a lot of torque. Um, it passes the shoe test as far as running over your shoe um, from just a standstill. Um, If you get it up against a slightly angled flat surface, it'll actually push its way up forward or in reverse. That's impressive. That tells me it has lots of torque. Um, the only thing I can recommend about it, if you buy one of these, they're only like $16, $17. Um, and they do carry them in the store at Target. The only thing I can recommend about one of these is that you buy it for a project, maybe some kind of custom modification project, or maybe for parts for some other project, or just as a little basher, just something to play around with and have fun with. And that's what I've done to this one. I've turned it into kind of a basher. Uh, I've actually turned it into a what I call a soda racer. The body for it now is this Coca-Cola bottle, and it's stuffed full of Walmart grocery bags to give it kind of a interior look, so that it looks like there's something in the bottle. But you could take black grocery bags and stuff them in it, so it looks like actual cola from a distance, I guess. But yeah, um, other than just using it for bashing, just playing around, bouncing around, trying to see what it will do, what it can do, what it's capable of, or doing a modification on it that would improve the steering, maybe get some softer shocks. Uh, I mean, softer springs for your shocks. Possibly even some slightly softer tires. I mean, these are okay for toy grade. They're not as hard as you might expect. But then the tires are like little crawler tires, so it could be turned into a fairly decent toy grade crawler. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest problem right now with this one is the steering. And it could be that this one's just a defective model. It could just be a defective model. Um, New Bright has their own little 30-some-second commercial of the thing being run around in a room and going up a ramp and across a bridge-like area and down another ramp. Um, so there is a video where you can actually see it in action. But this one, whenever I put it in reverse, it wants to steer itself and curve. It likes to. The steering is okay when trying to steer it to the right, but when you try to steer it to the left, it acts like it don't really want to listen to the orders coming from the remote. This is what the remote looks like. It's your standard toy grade, lightweight, cheap remote. Steering wheel don't turn very far at all. Surprisingly, the trigger does go down farther than I expected. But it's a very clicky, very noisy remote. Um, it has one 3.2-volt lithium ion cell. Luckily, though, luckily, fortunately, unlike most New Bright circuit boards, this cell is removable. I mean, it's glued on, but it has wires coming from it and a little tab that plugs into uh, another area. So that's nice because that would certainly make it easier if you wanted to go with a battery upgrade. Maybe if you wanted to go with 2 cells, or if you wanted to be really silly, you could go with 3 because I mean the thing's already plenty fast enough for what it is. So yeah, say if you wanted to use some kind of a setup where you were using a nickel metal hydride battery, which is rated at 1.2 volts, that would more than cut the voltage in half from what it is now. And you could actually slow the thing down and maybe it would behave a little more like an actual crawler. Um, who could say? But anyway, that's my review for this RC. Sorry that I didn't have the actual body on it. Um, I'm just reviewing the quality of the vehicle, um, what its capabilities are, what its weaknesses are, and maybe tomorrow, if the ground is dry enough. It's been raining. It's been raining a lot lately in this area. If the ground is dry enough, maybe I can take it out and see how it handles the the dirt, the grass, the pine needles, uh, maybe even some small tree roots, things like that, and see how it does that way. But for now, I cannot recommend this product for your child or for like having it as a bone stock collectible. It just has too many defects in it um, that need to be repaired. So that's really all that it's good for is modification or using for parts or just generally bashing, just playing around with. Maybe putting it through some tests to see how much it can take, how much it can withstand. So experimental stuff. So other than that, it's okay. Um, anyway, that's my review for the New Bright heavy metal stamped steel Jeep Gladiator 1/18th scale. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.